Welcome to another edition of the Dementia Care Partner Talk Show. Now, here's dementia care expert Teepa Snow and your host, Greg Phelps.
Hello and welcome to the Dementia Care Partners podcast, brought to you by Positive Approach to Care. I'm your host, Greg Phelps, along with dementia care expert Teepa Snow, and our topic today is false accusations. A couple of things in the news recently sort of caught my ear, and I wonder, how prevalent is this? Do you think there's theft going on and people don't remember? It's an interesting sort of subject to dig into.
It is. And one of the tricky parts about dementia is my greatest fear becomes sometimes my reality. And so if I'm afraid somebody's doing something, then they did it. Or it also could be the other side of the street and coin is that because I'm worried about something, I hide things. And I hide things, and I have maybe for a bit because I think that people are taking things. And what I don't realize is my very behavior of hiding things and then forgetting that I've done it is what's triggering my emotional distress over hiding things and taking things. And it's getting all blurred. And that's that immediate recall thing of once I do something, it's gone. But once I see you somewhere, and then I don't remember the details of what you were doing there, and then something from that area isn't like it was, my brain forms a new synaptic connection in the primitive part of my brain that says, that Greg, he probably was the one. Oh, no, he was the one. I saw him do it. And that thing can actually then build another new synapse back to the visual and actually puts you in that space doing something. What do you think about that, Greg?
It is. I'm laughing sort of nervously because at 68 years old, true confessions, I struggle sometimes. Now, where did I put that? And it reminded me of a video I saw in one of your presentations, and it was a woman who was looking for something, and she basically searched the whole house and found everything but what she was originally looking for, and ended up sitting back down in the kitchen. So there's days that I sort of feel like that.
Yeah, and that's that tricky part of is this typical aging, or is this something that we're more worried about? And when you said false accusations, okay, this is where it gets a little tricky, because what we do know is that people do take advantage. People living with the beginnings of brain changes are vulnerable because people could take advantage of it and could take things and then claim that that's not what happened, and it becomes a he said, she said kind of phenomena. Or I could gift someone with something, but then I don't remember doing that. And I see on you the very thing that I was looking for. And I think you took it. I know you did. And so it's tricky because it feels like a false accusation to me, to you or to me, whichever way we're going. But to the other person, it's very real. And so the question is, how do you cope with that and not aggravate it? For me, I mean, that's my usual, okay, I can't fix the brain, but how do I cope with a brain that's changing for whatever reason?
You've done presentations to police before, and they've made it clear to you that on occasion they get calls that, somebody has stolen. And I would suspect that that's a very difficult sort of investigation to launch.
It is. And so, my recommendation is usually, wow, Greg, so you had something and you're thinking that they stole it. Okay, well, tell you what, I'm going to make some notes here as we're going along. So tell me more about, now you were in your which room? Were you in the living room or the bedroom when you recognized something was missing?
I was in the bedroom.
You were in the bedroom. So what I said, just to be clear, I recognize that your perception is someone took something. And then I'm really trying to scope out sort of, if you tell me this time you were in the bedroom, and the last time we did this, now you were in the living room, my brain is going, okay, so we have some location issues of where this started. And I'll say missing this time. So when the thing went missing, when your coat went missing. Yeah. Tell me about that coat. Now, describe it for me, if you would. And so what I'm trying to do is get the person to focus in here. So I have more data to work with. And when I work with law enforcement, that's often, they have a certain protocol they follow. But when it comes to dementia or trying to sort out, could this be a brain change that's more like dementia than somebody choosing to falsely report another human being, or actually hiding something and then thinking somebody took it, or misremembering something from 25 years ago and thinking they're looking for a coat. And when you hear the description of the coat and the person involved goes, oh, I've never seen that coat. I'm not even sure what she's talking about. And it's like, now that coat that you're describing, did you buy it or did somebody buy it for you? And then your statement is, well, my daddy got it for my birthday. I was like, oh, so your daddy bought it. Now, which birthday was that? Was that when you were really young well, it was like when I just turned 16, like last year. And it's like, okay, wow. So when you just turned 16 last year for an 85-year-old. So suddenly a lot of things can become very clear as far as, wow, we right now might have a delirium. We might have an anxiety episode that's really severe, or we might have a dementia, but we for sure don't have a typical brain.
So, as with so many of our programs, there's no easy answer. Is there anything we can do in advance that would help families? You don't want to go in and say, okay, Mom, you're experiencing brain change. I'm taking all your jewelry. I mean, that would,
we're taking the guns, we're taking the knives, we're going to do
the
all
guns,
this stuff.
maybe.
Guns is a whole nother podcast. We should be doing that at some point. The knives, the weapons, the tools, the this, the that, the jewelry for the women, the extra whatever, the books. One of the things that we might actually start to notice early is less organization. For a person who's always been highly organized, it's got a little disorganized. Our brain should go, wow, I think we're having a hard time keeping up with everything. And maybe if the person is up for it, saying, you know what, let's get this stuff sort of sorted through so we can account for it all. And one of the things to do is take pictures of settings so that your brain goes, okay, this is how it was every now and then. This is sort of what's happening. But also, if at all possible, can, before we get there, talk about gifting. Are we using this? Are we not using this? Where should this go? Is this something that should be gifted or kept or donated? So really working with people when we're getting older, but we don't have brain change would be great. But recognizing, keeping and cataloging all that has gotten gone over time, because that may come up as something that was stolen. And the more we know, the better. But the biggest thing I could say is learn to use the phrase, wow, that's not good. Wow.
Teepa, if somebody is sort of going through this, you've met one person living with dementia, you've met one person living with dementia, so we can't offer a broad solution. Can I talk to somebody? Can I pick up the phone, or can I text somebody or email or?
Yeah, and I would encourage you to do that sooner rather than later. Don't let it become a pattern before you get the support that would really help you and the person you're trying to support. And I would say getting up on our consults.com, get up with our consults. We do consults. We have an 800 number. We have a website. We have an info at Teepa Snow. Any of those alternatives, but don't try to do this alone, because frequently we'll make mistakes that develop a pattern of non-helpful, which isn't where we want to go. Truly.
Teepa, thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg.
You've been listening to the Dementia Care Partners podcast, brought to you by Positive Approach to Care. For more information on dementia care and training, go to teepasnow.com. If you're signed into your Spotify account, we'd love to get your feedback. How? Click into the episode details and look over the episode question and poll. Send us your comments and vote so we can answer your questions and better tailor this content to your needs. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hi, I'm Teepa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching, and if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, And if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out. And you might want to visit our website, www.teepasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.